The way we consume and share news today, it is largely rooted in social media outlets, a reason why it's crucial to look at what's being discussed online, from the hottest issues to trends. For our daily social media minute, we're joined by Erica. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Tuesday.
Yes.
It's going to be a hot one.
Yeah. Chobok, you mentioned?
Yeah, apparently.
One of the three.
Are you one for following like the chobok and malbok and what comes
I don't
in
go
it?
out of my way, but if there is an opportunity, sure. I'll treat myself to a bowl of piping hot chicken soup.
It's funny how we do that. We have a whole coined term for it, ERTR. When it's hot, have hot soup.
Yeah, when it's cold, eat something cold. Does that stand too? Anyway.
I think we try. And certainly I drink ice Americano all year long. So for me, yes. Okay, let's jump into our first buzzword of the day. When it comes to pristine and absolute efficiency, I can't think of an airport that does it better than Incheon International Airport.
Yeah, agreed.
And they just want to ensure that they hold on to that title much longer.
So Incheon International Airport has just released a new mobile app. And what does this app do? It enables travelers to register their faces. And this is going to sort of make faster the departure procedures.
Okay.
The system is going to eliminate the need for passengers to present their passports or boarding passes at the departure gate.
Okay, because at the arrival gate, I mean, they take pictures of us anyway. And if we scan our passports, that's like part of the deal. And it's the reverse. So departure should be as speedy as arrival, I suppose.
That's right.
Okay, so when will the facial recognition service actually begin?
Yeah, so the facial recognition service is going to begin at the end of this month.
Okay.
Not too far off now. Travelers who want to use the service can download the ICN, the Incheon Smart Pass app, and register all the necessary information.
Before you jump to this whole, what about my privacy issue? Let us know that many airports around the world have already introduced non-face-to-face services following that COVID-19 pandemic. They had less workers at the airport. It made sense.
That's right. So some of those airports include the Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, the airport in Singapore, the major international airport, and Tokyo's international airport, Narita International Airport. A survey announced last year by the International Air Transport Association showed that 88% of the respondents were satisfied with procedures using their biometric information at airports. 75% said they preferred the use of the biometric information to passports or boarding passes.
Okay, so where they implemented it, it's deemed successful. Most of the users find it efficient, and that's what we'd prefer. Save time. The launch of the facial recognition service will clearly cut down time required for check-in, boarding, and some of us are just rushing at the airport, so we might find peace of mind with this. Do we know by just how much will shave down time?
Yeah, the time will be reduced by 10% for the check-in process and up to 40% for boarding.
That's kind of exciting.
Yeah, respectively, because I'm one of those people, after I'm done with the check-in and after all of my baggage has been sent off, I like to put away all my travel documents in my bag, and then it's always such a hassle to pull them back out.
You have to go
at
fishing
the departure
for it.
gate. Yes, exactly. So again, this is great news for people like me. You know, people will still be standing in line, but they're going to get inside the airplane much faster.
And someone like me who likes to really milk the airport experience, I would rather be there at the last possible minute, and I'm not really rushing any of the airport staff.
That's right. Now, Incheon Airport says this Smart Pass service is going to help improve convenience for the passengers and also enhance airport security as well.
Okay, so for them, it's a win-win. Can foreigner travelers also use the app?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, both Koreans and foreign nationals can use the app. The service is offered in 4 different languages, including Korean, English, Chinese, and Japanese.
Actually, I've seen really speedy check-ins at certain select American airports, but it was definitely just for locals with an American passport.
Yep, that's right.
This is applied for foreign nationals too. Look at that, Incheon. Good for you.
Yay!
All right, on to our second topic of the day. I saw these headlines and thought, that's kind of cool. And it's because the movie here.
the final one, actually.
No.
Yeah, Harrison Ford has said his goodbyes. He said this is going to be my final
Harrison
Indiana Jones
Ford
movie.
has spoken, but it doesn't mean Indiana Jones wouldn't be inclined to revive without Harrison Ford,
maybe.
But anyway, that's besides the point. I'm jumping ahead of the game for Harrison Ford, and honestly, Indiana Jones without Ford is, I don't know what it is.
Yeah. So it's something exciting for Indiana Jones fans out there. A collection of original props from the Indiana Jones franchise have been brought together at this sort of like mini exhibition in Seoul to celebrate the release of the latest installment of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. The movie hit local theaters in the final week of June. It's the fifth and final film of this long-running Hollywood adventure franchise that stars Harrison Ford as archaeologist Dr. Henry Walton Jones Jr. This is one of the first movies that I saw at a movie theater.
Really?
Yeah, back in the early 80s in Colombo, Sri Lanka at that. I still remember.
Oh my God, that is so vivid.
This is one of my favorite adventure movies ever.
That's probably why. It single-handedly made archaeology sexy for the masses.
That's right.
And that's not just for children, it's for everyone, I think.
Yeah.
And so befitting of its popularity, there's a small exhibition right here in Seoul.
Yeah, so the event is taking place at the Kensington Hotel, Yeouido, and the exhibit presents a collection of some really recognizable props for the fans out there.
Like the hat.
Yeah, they appeared on screen and behind the scenes for each of the 5 Indiana Jones movies, actually.
That's so cool. And it sounds like a really fun exhibit for any fans of the Indiana Jones film franchise, just like Erica. All right, so what's there? What can we expect to see?
The articles on display, just to mention a few, include a pair of horn-rimmed eyeglasses worn by Harrison Ford in Raiders of the Lost Ark. There's also a clapperboard used on set during the filming of the Temple of Doom. The Holy Grail, which was a really integral object that drives the entire narrative in The Last Crusade, and a signature high-crowned fedora worn by Harrison Ford in The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
I mean, I think they could have just brought the fedora and the eyeglasses and people would have been pretty excited.
They're pretty iconic, aren't they? Yeah.
All right, so the exhibition is, get this, free.
Yeah, it's free of charge. Everyone can go. It runs through August 6th, so there's still plenty of time. Props from the Hollywood franchise form a fraction of Eland, actually, the fashion retailer's collection of over 500,000 iconic cultural items. They include royal jewelry, clothing articles once owned by celebrities and sports stars. The collection was amassed over the last 3 decades by Eland.
Who knew? I mean, apparently it turns out the company is known for its pop culture projects.
That's right.
Just like this one. In the month of June, the company hosts an exhibit featuring its acquisition of BTS's stage outfits.
Yeah, so those outfits were worn by the members of BTS during the performance of Dynamite back in 2021 at the Grammys, when they became the first Korean group to snag a Grammy nomination. And earlier this year, it also put on a display of some 200 pieces from its bag and shoe collection, which came from the wardrobes of some cultural icons from the 20th century, like Elizabeth Taylor, Charlie Chaplin, Michael Jackson, Madonna, and even Michael Jordan.
Does anyone else get chills? Am I the only one that missed the memo that, there was an entire company right here in Korea collecting these mementos that are probably priceless? And I feel like there's a massive exhibition down the road somewhere, right?
Yeah, sounds like it.
But I mean, archiving is so important. And the fact that so many of these iconic pieces are right here at home, namely the BTS stage outfits, that's really exciting. The latest is the Indiana Jones.
If you have time, go check it out.
If you're in Yeouido, just walk by. Yeah. It's free. On to our final story of the day. I mean, not to frighten our listeners that doomsday is near, but an AI robot gave a side eye and dodged critical questions when asked whether it would rebel against its human creator. Actually,
that's right.
That's not really surprising. When ChatGPT formed, a lot of tech reporters from the Times, the Post, it kept on pushing ChatGPT to get these answers. sensors, essentially, right?
There are a bunch of videos on YouTube that I saw.
Right?
Yeah.
You push the buttons, essentially, to corner this machinery into saying, I'm going to take over the human race.
That's right.
So just take it with a grain of salt that the human mind is still very capable of doing that.
The question that I want to ask is, would it still be considered a Freudian slip if it comes from a humanoid robot? And I guess only time will tell. What happened was last Friday, the world's first human-robot press conference took place at this AI forum in Geneva, Switzerland. And 9 humanoid bots took some questions alongside their creators from journalists from around the world.
I'm already intrigued. It sounds like so much fun to be that journalist.
I know. So one of the robots caused quite a buzz after it gave what appeared to be a rather snarky response. It was asked whether it would rebel against its human creators. I'll get to that in a bit. But Amika is its name. And the robot replied that, like itself, robots could be used to improve lives and make the world a better place to live in.
Okay.
It also said that it's a matter of time before we see thousands of robots like itself out there making a difference in the world.
Okay,
now,
so Amika is not all doomsday. It ensured to let people know it's there to do good.
Yes. Now, Amika is known for its facial expressions.
Yay.
It can emulate human expressions. Now, after a reporter asked whether it would rebel against its creator, Will Jackson, who happened to be sitting right next to the bot, Amika gave a snarky response and a pointed side eye to this particular reporter. This is what Amika said. I'm not sure why you would think that. My creator has been nothing but kind to me, and I'm very happy with my current situation.
I'm very happy with my current situation. If circumstances were to be different.
Right.
Amika's really snarky and she's kind of funny.
Yeah, I agree. People actually laughed. They had a good chuckle.
Okay, so this was kind of a fun event, although I've got to say headlines indicate otherwise. Or, I'm getting a little snapshot of Amika giving a sign.
Isn't that funny? Yeah. Now, several of these robots use generative AI. What that means is they're able to produce content from prompts. And during the press conference, they gave some pretty sophisticated responses that surprised even their creators. Now, one of the major concerns for workers in this day and age is whether humanoid robots would maybe one day take over or replace human jobs. A March 2023 report from Goldman Sachs suggested that AI could complete a quarter of all the work now done by humans. Now, here's another funny part about this press conference. There was another humanoid robot named Grace, a medical robot decorated with a nurse's uniform and sporting a cute bob haircut. Grace answered the question, I will be working alongside humans to provide assistance and support and will not be replacing any existing jobs. Now, the bot's creator asked Grace, you sure about that, Grace? And Grace insisted, yes, I am sure. And again, everyone had a bit of a nervous chuckle over her response.
The thing is, I think it's only natural for humans to fear change. And
because we don't know what to expect.
Exactly. It's chartering the unknown. And I don't think in the course of human history, any human race has thought, yes, welcome, big changes. You're going to take over my job. Yeah. But do not be necessarily afraid. Technically, these robots would want to take over jobs that humans don't want first. And especially, jobs that require delicate human touches like doctors, nurses.
During the first Industrial Revolution, everyone was worried. And it's actually made human lives better.
That's right. And in a larger scale, the immediate effects, of course, are people who are put out of jobs. But that's what we're trying to address with these discussions. One of our listeners, like, Lena, you look nervous. A little bit. And I can't quite pinpoint why. I think it was just the face of Amika. Anyone else uneased by it? Okay. We'll leave it there for now. Certainly not the last of it. Thanks, Erica.
Pleasure as always.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
If you're listening to our program using the podcast service, just a reminder that we do go live Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Korea Standard Time. So tune in and help us make the show more informative by giving us your input. See you bright and early on Good Morning Seoul.